Excel 5, functions. So you added some scores, you added more assignments, and you adjusted the total. Up maybe a little more work. I'm going to show you an easier way to do that. First, let's keep what you've done on 10 assignments. We're going to work from a copy. We're going to make a new worksheet in our workbook. Go to Edit, Move or Copy Sheet. Make sure it's selected this sheet, 10 assignments, and select Create a Copy. Say OK. So now it just named it the same thing with a 2 afterward. I want to give it a better name. I'm going to call this 2 functions because that's what we're going to do today. We're going to work with 2 functions. So when you needed to change the total, you kept the formula there, but the formula said add these 4 cells. So you came by, I saw all of you do this, and you clicked on each one and told it add all 10 cells. That's great. Now with the average, I did it the easy way. I said go to B14, this is my formula, go to B14, which is the total, and divide by 4, but 4 is no longer correct, it's now 10. And I know this is correct because the average is 1 decimal place off of the total. There's 10 assignments, so that's pretty easy to see. There's an easier way. Under total, instead of telling it all these individual things to add, we can use a rule called the sum. I'm going to get rid of that. And over here on the side, there's a bar called the function list, and it will pop up when there's an equal sign. Excuse me, there has to be an equal sign in the cell. Remember, first rule of telling the computer to do something, as soon as there's an equal sign in the cell, then it knows it has to do something. That changes the rules for the computer. It's very important to have that equal sign there. By luck, the first thing that popped up is sum, and it's guessing for me to add everything from B4 to B13. Instead of a bunch of little boxes, it puts it in one big box. And it guessed correctly. Now don't forget the computer is guessing. You always have to be the deciding factor on what's right. But it's guessing that, and I hit enter, and I get 88. Same thing down here with the average. I'll get rid of the formula. I want to work in the formula bar where I can see it, equals. And I don't want sum this time, I want the average function. It's guessing that it's going to average everything from B4 to B14. Good try, but not the right guess. B14 is the total. It's not one of the numbers we're averaging. So we can just come up here and click. Make that B13. We totaled B4 to B13. We're going to average everything from B4 to B13. I'll make that change, and it averages. Now you noticed I didn't tell it how many to divide by. The computer knows the rule of averaging. Add up everything that you've got, and then divide by how many there are. So you don't have to change it to divide by 10 instead of divide by 4. If I add 2 more assignments, it'll pick that up. I'm going to renumber these. And put in some scores. Oops. And the formula adjusted. It adjusted the sum formula automatically to go from B4 to B15, and the average stayed there. I didn't have to tell it now there's 12 numbers. It knows to do that. So these are functions, and it's telling the computer to do something to follow rules that are already written into the computer. It's a lot less work for you, and I think averages are going to make your work a lot easier. So change your functions and add the functions of average and total into your formula under the worksheet 2 functions and submit that.